I was a neglectful father when my daughter was little, now she has abandoned me at home alone. I feel like dying. I, 59, have a daughter, 24, named Jen. Growing up, I worked a lot and missed out on school events, meetings, etc. I also had a stressful job I hated and anger issues back then, so Jen and I were rocky for the first 18 years. Jen went out of state for college and never spoke to me, not even if I offered to pay for books or rent or anything. When she visited for holidays, she stayed with my ex-wife and her new husband. Jen came back to our city for work last year and started law school last month. My ex-wife and Jen are still very close, but my ex is remarried and is currently taking care of her husband's elderly father, who lives with them. So Jen has to live with me as she is unable to work this year due to starting law school. She pays for her own groceries. We have different tastes and utilities. I don't need the money, but she insisted. She is cordial with me, but we don't interact like father and daughter should. We're like strained roommates. Some issues we have are: Jen wears sweatpants and t-shirts to school. I nicely offered to take her shopping for some smart suits, skirts, blouses, etc. so she could fit in. She said no and continued to dress like a slob every day for class. I don't know much about lawyers, but I'm pretty sure you can't wear sweatpants to court. I noticed Jen makes herself an omelet every day, so I started making omelets for her before she gets up so she doesn't need to burden herself. But she says she doesn't like my omelets and asks me to stop cooking for her. This hurt me greatly as she used to beg for my omelets when she was little. Jen comes home after 8 p.m. every single day. She tells me she is studying at the school or going to the gym, but now that the days are getting darker earlier she needs to be home earlier because I worry about her getting into an accident or worse. She has a desk in her room and can study here. So take into account all these issues we are having. And then last Friday, 10/21, she came home at 9 p.m. when it was pitch black and says she was at the bar with some classmates. No text from her, no call, nothing, and she wasn't even studying. I tried to have a calm conversation with her about my concerns, but she yelled at me that she's allowed to socialize with her peers after midterm exams. I understand this, but school comes first, not drinks, and she should have let me know what she was doing. Jen then grabbed her keys and tried to leave, but I held my ground in front of the door, begging her not to drive drunk and in the dark. She ended up just going to her room for the night. We didn't speak all weekend and she continues to come home after dark every night. I'm very concerned for my daughter and I'm worried law school may be too hard on her. However, I don't want to have another blow up with her like we did on Friday. Update: since the big blow up last Friday, when I caught her coming home drunk and admonished her accordingly, we continue to tiptoe around each other. I have knocked on her door a few times around bedtime to see if we can talk, but she doesn't answer and has locked the door so I can't enter her bedroom. She now leaves for class before I get up and comes home around 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. sometimes. I greet her every evening as I am unable to go to sleep if she isn't home. I no longer enforce a curfew, but she just blows past me into her room. If she cooks for herself, it's when I'm sleeping or at work. I can't keep living like this. She's like a stranger to me. We used to get along when she was a little girl, then around 13 to 14 years old, she became horrible to me. Wouldn't let me hug her or kiss her. One time she even screamed at me because I put some food on her plate during dinner. I acknowledge my previous faults and failures as a father, but I attended therapy during my divorce and only stopped because of the pandemic. She is still holding on to past impressions of me, and I'm worried that she will not see that I have changed and am trying to do better. This morning I intercepted her while she was eating breakfast before class. I tried to strike up a conversation with her and she just ignored me on her phone. The old me would have taken her phone and thrown it at the wall. As I said, I had previous faults, but I successfully restrained myself and let her be. I no longer make her omelets, but I put out bowls of fruit for her which she never touches. Update 2.